Do you hear that?
Or what?
You need to give me a gun.
What is that?
It's him.
Oh, Santa Claus?
Yeah, it's fucking
Santa
Claus.
Claus!
Welcome back to the 13 Reviews of Christmas. My name is Dylan Gable, and today I'm talking about Christmas Bloody Christmas, released in 2022. The film is directed by Jeff Bezos, and it's very straightforward with its plot. It's just a robotic Santa going on a killing spree in a small town. That's it. That's all this movie is. Okay, so how could I describe Christmas Bloody Christmas? I know this movie is very polarizing when it comes to Christmas horror films, but I actually really like this movie. This movie is a fucking blast. If you like really bloody kills and some very stylish cinematography to go with it, this movie is right up your alley. I think this movie is going to please tons of fucking horror lovers, but also people who like their Christmas movies to be a little edgier and harder edged, you know? Okay, so this is how I would describe Christmas Bloody Christmas, okay? Okay, so imagine Silent Night, Deadly Night plus The Terminator equals Christmas Bloody Christmas. Yep. That's exactly what this movie is. That's the best way to describe Christmas Bloody Christmas. It is, imagine taking Silent Night, Deadly Night, and The Terminator and just combining them. That's exactly what you get here. So yeah, you get some like Terminator-esque action, quite like a little bit, especially in the latter half. But then you also get a lot of like Silent Night, Deadly Night inspired shit. Because yeah, it's a slasher movie with a Santa Claus, but it's not just some fucking psycho dressed in a Santa costume, it's just this military-grade fucking robot. Yeah. Okay, so, in terms of kills, how is this movie? This movie's brutal as fuck. There's tons of gore. It's awesome. If you like a really violent slasher movie, you'll fucking love Christmas Bloody Christmas. It is absolutely fantastic in that regard. And also, the action. Yes, there is action in this movie. When it comes to action, this movie's surprisingly very well done. For an indie film that's very fucking low budget, this movie handles action sequences fucking amazingly. Very well done. And of course, there's some atmosphere. This movie has a lot stronger of a horror atmosphere than a Christmas atmosphere, but the Christmas is there. There's lots of decorations. There's lots of Christmas music here. It's got the Christmas stuff like you'd want out of a Christmas movie, but there's also an even stronger horror atmosphere, and the horror is effective enough. It's just trying to be a slasher flick, and that's exactly what it delivers on. Also, the performances, I mean, they're serviceable. The performances are serviceable. There's nothing like downright fucking terrible. It's like slasher movie level acting, so take that as you will. Also, I really like the cinematography in this movie. I think this movie's what, like fucking 16 millimeters, something like that? That's what it's supposed to look like. And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not entirely sure, but it looks really good. It's very stylish. It gives this movie a very unique look. Especially for a movie that came out in 2022. That's quite something. You don't really see a lot of that these days. And yeah, and also this movie moves at a good pace too. It's only 87 minutes, and yeah, it felt about that long. It only felt like like a typical hour and a half movie. This movie moved by at a smooth pace. So there is that. Do I have any issues with Christmas Bloody Christmas? Well, I will say, yeah, the acting, I mean, it's serviceable, but that's as far as it goes. There's nothing like truly awful, but there's nothing that really stands out either. And also, this movie's dialogue. Okay, there's two things to keep in mind here. One, if you're a fan of Quentin Tarantino, you'll think that this movie is just trying desperately to be a Quentin Tarantino movie. Because this movie's very dialogue heavy. Just mind you on that, it's a very, very dialogue heavy film. And also, it tries to sound like Quentin Tarantino dialogue, and for me, that was kind of unnecessary. Nobody can really do Quentin Tarantino dialogue like Quentin Tarantino, so yeah, just keep that in mind. If that's something that bothers you, you might have a hard time sitting through at least the first half of this movie, because the first half of this movie is entirely dialogue. Second, if you don't like a lot of profanity in your movies, this movie's gonna fucking drive you nuts. This movie is fucking competes with like Wolf of Wall Street or fucking the South Park movie or Pulp Fiction with how much fucking profanity is in this movie. If you don't like hearing F-bombs every 5 seconds, this movie is gonna drive you fucking crazy, because there is a lot of swearing in this movie, like a ton of it. So yeah, just be aware of that if you don't like a lot of profanity in your movies. To me, there's times where it feels natural, and then there's other times where I'm like, okay, that's a little excessive. Nobody says fuck like that many times in a sentence. Like, come on. Okay. Like, to me, it just felt unnatural. Okay, and I don't like the lead character, this fucking chick that's like a boss of this video store. I found her very annoying at times. That's she basically her whole character is that she is a fucking hipster, doesn't like anything like mainstream, especially when it comes to movies, because there's a lot of talk about movies in this one. And yeah, there's constant like talk between her and this guy who works for her, who has a major crush on her, about like one of those fucking A24 type horror movies versus like Blumhouse horror. Because Blumhouse is the most mainstream horror out right now, so of course she has to bitch about Blumhouse. Like as if she thinks that Blumhouse has never done anything good. You hear that constantly throughout like at least the first half hour or more. It kind of got annoying, and it was very repetitive. So yeah, aspects of the writing isn't that great, and it kind of gets repetitive. So that's an actual issue I have with this film. Overall, Christmas Bloody Christmas, for the most part, is a very entertaining slasher flick with lots of brutal kills, lots of gore, some great action, some stylish cinematography, a cool killer that's not even human, it's a robot, but whatever, it's still a killer, it's a slasher movie. And yeah, there's just lots of great stuff to offer, even though some things might either be mixed or I do have like one major issue which I just mentioned, but yeah. Christmas Bloody Christmas, I think, is a very entertaining movie, and I'm absolutely going to give Christmas Bloody Christmas a B+. So what do you think of Christmas Bloody Christmas? Comment below, let me know, and if you like my stuff, you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.